Hi, let's talk about Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD. It's a weird one. Um, did you like Final Fantasy 15? I don't know. Some people did. I didn't. So I played about 20 hours of that game and fell off of it because I thought it was pretty bad. Mostly for like story stuff. I don't know. The characters aren't interesting. The story doesn't make any sense. I think I got kind of to the open worldish part of that game and just went, ugh, I can't play more of this. Just didn't think it was very good. So when this came out, the weird mobile version of it, I thought that was interesting, and then eventually made its way over to consoles, which is where I played it on the PlayStation 4. Um, it's still weird. It's kind of neat in some ways because boy, it really feels like Final Fantasy 15, which is neat. Like that it really nails what that game was going for. Really feels like it. Unfortunately, I think that game is not very good. So I still didn't love this. Um, I did finish it probably about 20 hours, roughly the same amount of time I put into the kind of the full game. And I don't know why I finished it. I mean, it's got all the same problems that the full game has. Um, but for whatever reason, I was a little more captivated by it. And maybe I was just kind of, God, I don't know, overcome by the how much it feels like that, and how cool of an idea it really is to take a big AAA RPG and scale it down and have it still feel like that game. I would love, I would love if more games did this. Like if I could finish some of these big giant games that I really don't have time for in like a condensed, abridged version, I think that would be best for everyone. Like I think this is totally an okay way to experience Final Fantasy 15. I don't think it's that much different than the full big game. But again, I think it kind of sucks. All the same reasons that the full game sucks. The just the characters, my God, Noctis is not interesting. I don't think he will ever be. Everybody else in your party that I can't remember the names of, Prompto and Ignis and the other guy, they just suck. I don't know. They're not fun. They're not interesting. Just a bunch of bros on a road trip. Really not my bag. Um, the stuff with Luna Freya, right? Is Noctis girlfriend, betrothed wife, princess, whatever. I don't know. That stuff is told in these weird vignette things, and by the time you get around to having them interact, bad stuff happens. I don't want to spoil too much. Uh, but God, I just didn't. No part of this story is interesting or fun. Arden, main bad guy, I believe. Sorry, spoiler again, I guess. Um, what's his deal? I don't know. And I don't know if maybe that's because this is kind of an abridged version, or if the full game really is kind of the same in terms of what it has going on there. Uh, just yeesh, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Beyond that, there's some other weird stuff with this game. There's like a decent amount of pop in, um, and some real bugs, some frame rate stuff. I don't know. That doesn't really ever bother me in a game, but I think it's worth mentioning. It's definitely there. Um, I guess is which is kind of surprising for a mobile port to a much more powerful thing. Again, didn't really bother me, but it's noticeable for sure. Music, it's still good. I don't know. The music in Final Fantasy is always great, right? I don't think there's been a maybe some stinkers on a soundtrack, but by and large, it's great music. So I have nothing else to say about the music. Um, Combat is fine. I don't know. It feels like a mobile game, which is cool. Neither here nor there really. Found it mostly serviceable. Nothing really interesting, but just kind of a hack and slash thing, which again is how I felt about the full release, the big game. It's just kind of there. I don't know. Um, we I I hoped to like this more than I did. I was hoping that by playing this, I would want to go and be like, wow, what did I miss in the full game, right? Like what this is kind of a condensed thing. So I wonder if I go back or if I go and play this, will that make me want to go figure out more of Final Fantasy 15 and what people seem to enjoy about it? And no, this actively turned me off from that because I can't see it going any better than this. All the dialogue is just kind of ripped out of that game and thrown in here, so that's a weird thing for this to happen, and then it feels a little awkward because characters don't have enough time to talk about their stuff, or to develop some late game story stuff just sort of occurs, and it's like where did this come from? So again, I didn't finish Final Fantasy 15, the big one. Um, so maybe it really is explained there, and you have a better sense of why these characters are doing what they're doing, or their motivations, or some other story stuff, but I don't want to go and find out. I just don't. I don't know. There's better things to do. There's better games to play than that. Um, I don't. It's weird because on one hand, I really admire that this is a stripped down version of that game. I think it's really cool that they went for something like that. But also, you can't polish a turd, right? That's an old saying. You can say that. I can still say that. Um, it's bad. Look at these quick time events. Yuck. That's I guess that's more of a mobile thing, but they are not good. Anyway, um, the nuts and bolts of this stuff work. I think if there were some big differences, like the dialogue stuff, this would be so much better if this were a better gap between the full game and the condensed thing. Still the same length and all that stuff, but either way, I don't think this game is worth playing unless you really like Final Fantasy 15. You don't want to play through the whole thing again? Sure. Yeah, this is those characters. You can do all that stuff. Other than that, you'll be fine. Thanks for watching.